Be right with you, sir.
Okay. No worries.
All right. Good morning. Welcome back to the 43rd Ryder Cup here at Whistling Straits. Here with Matt Fitzpatrick. Matt, welcome to your second career Ryder Cup. Second on the road here. I'm just curious about your comfort level. Is there a greater, more elaborate sense of comfort here this year as opposed to when you were a rookie in 16? They're both on the road, so that's a little bit of a different twist too.
Yeah, definitely. I think there's a few things. My game, I didn't feel like was as good as it is now then. So I feel like it's much better nowadays, and my game's definitely changed a lot, hitting it further and various other things. I also think just knowing the guys in the European team better. I'd only had my card in 15 and 16, so I only got to spend a little bit of time with the guys on the team and other players during regular weeks on tour. So now this is my 8th year I think on tour, so I know everyone really well now. So I think that makes a big difference. Being able to feel comfortable going, just talking about anything with them really. So
okay, let's hit the ground for some questions. That is number 3, back right.
Hey, Matt, not looking for a specific name, but I'm curious, do you have a sense right now of who you're going to play with whenever you're going to play? And if the answer is yes, when did you know that by?
Yeah, I mean, we get a feel of who we're going to play with by, who we're playing with in the groups and stuff, I guess. But the communication's been great all week. I've had plenty of conversations with the Vicers and Paddy. So I think early doors that he told us all that he wanted to make sure that we knew where we stood going into the week, and I think that's been really valuable for everyone really.
Just quick to put you on the spot, you do know exactly in your whatever your first match is going to be, you know that, and you know who your partner will be.
Yeah.
Great.
You can tell us if you like.
I'm not going to be the one to throw Paddy under the bus.
Fair enough.
All right, we are going to Daniel 8.
From the outside, it seems like it's hard to have more different golf courses than Hazeltine and Whistling Straits. But I'm curious, from inside the ropes, how different is this test versus the one you faced 5 years ago?
Yeah, massively. I tried to forget Hazeltine pretty quickly. Yeah, that's how much I remember it. But it's very, very different. There wasn't much penalty for really, really wide shots in 2016, whereas here there is a penalty. You've got the lake down most holes, and you got random bushes in bunkers and bunkers that you didn't even know existed. So it's definitely a different test, and obviously you got the added wind as well. So the golf course is much better than I thought it was going to be for myself. So yeah, I was really pleased to see that it wasn't similar to 16.
Kind of going off that, Stricker in his explanation for his captain's picks talked a lot about driving distance, how the stats said that was really important on this golf course. Are you getting that sense that it's like a bomber's course?
I think there's obviously a handful of holes where it'd be nice to just carry it 340 through the air. But I wouldn't say it's like massive. It's not sort of glaringly obvious, in my opinion. I think... Yeah, I mean, I think it's a second shot golf course personally. I think you got to hit it and get it in position off the tee, and then that gives you a chance to use the slopes on the green to move it close to the pin, or just give yourself chances. I think you obviously do have to put it in position off the tee, but I definitely think it's a second shot golf course.
Well, right behind me, Mark 20.
Hey Matt. Just could you describe what Pulse means to this European side, and I have a follow-up on that.
Yeah, I mean, everyone knows what Ian Poulter's about. I think I didn't play. He wasn't on the team that I played in 2016. He was a vice captain. And I've already noticed that there's kind of a different feeling having him play on the team. I think he kind of just almost, I don't know what the word is, but he kind of just gives you confidence. You know, you sort of see how he interacts with the crowd. You see how he goes about his days. You know, he's very, very switched on. He knows what to do. He's done plenty of these now, and I think for me, it's being around him has kind of helped me, you know, feel a bit more confident going into the week as well. So that's always a positive.
Can you place yourself on the other side and imagine being an opponent when he gets on those rolls where he's going nuts and the bug eyes and the whole thing, and what kind of an effect that has if you're an opponent of his and he's on that roll?
Yeah, I mean, when he's holding putts from everywhere, you just want to throw him in the lake, I'm sure. But he's, you just don't want to face that. When he's on, he's a man on a mission. You know, he's pretty much unstoppable when he's doing that to you. So, you know, from my side, long may it continue this week.
Okay, we're going to go over to Phil, number 5.
Matt, sorry to take you back to 2016 again, but I was just wondering, was the plan for you to play more if Europe hadn't lost the first session so heavily?
Honestly, couldn't tell you, Phil. I no idea.
Fair enough. Short answer.
Okay, right behind number 7.
And Matt, kind of just to piggyback off that, one of the hardest things that a captain has to do is to tell 4 of the world's best players that they're not going to be teeing it up in a session. Just curious how that news was broken to you in 2016 and how you took it.
I mean, listen, I was a rookie. I didn't expect to be playing 5 matches. Obviously, of course, I want to play 5 matches. You know, regardless of how we're playing, I wanted to be part of it and experience it. But at the time, you know, disappointed, frustrated, really. But you know, I look back now and it made sense. I look at the way I was hitting it at the time, and compared to I look at myself now, it was very different. And I think, I mean, I've just accepted that. You know, it was my first ever one. It was in America. It was around a golf course that did not suit me one bit. It kind of just adds up.
Number 7, back right.
And hey, Matt, you mentioned hitting it further nowadays and it making you a better player. I'm just curious how that helps you tackle a golf course like this now versus, say, like a shorter hitting version of yourself would have.
Shorter version, I can hit driver everywhere, so that's good. Now I'm hitting a few 3-woods, so that's progress. But yeah, I mean, there's just obviously a few holes that maybe they might move tees up that are drivable. All of a sudden, like, I wouldn't say comfortable, but I can drive it up by the green, you know, and that makes a difference. Rather than I don't have to really get after it. I can hit a normal one and it's going to be up there, and you know, make it easier for myself or my partner or whatever. Obviously, in the past, holes like that, it's like I'm hitting a great drive and it's 30, 40 yards short rather than up by the green. So there's a bit of that, and then also just being, you know, confident in how straight I can hit it. Sort of as added speed anyway. You know, the more confident I've become, I can get after it more and hit more fairways and hitting it longer. So.
And just for reference, how much ball speed do you think you've gained? You know, in your own head.
I couldn't tell you. I honestly couldn't tell you. We didn't really sort of measure from the start, but I mean, last week in Florida, I was pretty close to Bryson at 175. So yeah, I was about that last week in Florida, but that wasn't for that many. So it's not quite reaching those levels yet.
Back left, Doug, 2-4.
Matt, as much as you say you want to forget your week at Hazeltine,
you keep bringing it up.
No. I'm just curious if there was one experience or one lesson from there that you could apply to this week?
I mean, it's not something that I can apply, but it's something that I definitely learn. I would have liked to have played a 4-ball match before my singles, just to play my own ball to see what it is like in competition. Obviously, then I played 1 foursomes on the Saturday morning. It's like the equivalent of playing 9 holes, really, isn't it? So, and there's no flow or rhythm to it, so you never really get what it's like. So that was the big thing I took away, is like I made sure that, if I ever played again and I speak to the captain, I say, listen, I'm not saying you have to play me in a 4-ball, I'm just saying from experience, I feel like it would benefit me to play a 4-ball, just to have that experience, to feel what it's going to be like Sunday with the crowds and the pressure, and get that experience.
Thanks.
Front right, Juan. Go ahead.
But talking about playing 5 matches, 5. So it looks like this golf course has a big physical test, physical requirement. Do you think for some players, or even for some caddies, it might be too much to ask them to play 5 rounds in 3 days?
I mean, yeah, it's a good point. I think if it's blowing a gale all week, that's obviously added extra too. I mean, I know some of the climbs up to the tees and down to the greens and stuff, that it's a lot, particularly for the caddies. Yeah, I think in terms of players, nowadays, most guys are great athletes. So, I'd like to think you can do 36 a day for 2 days and then play 18 on Friday. I know there's obviously so many added stresses with the crowd and emotions and everything else that comes with it. But, I like to think that everyone really can kind of get through that pretty kind of easily.
All right, Matt, thanks for your time today. Enjoy your week here at Whistling Straits. Thank you.
Thanks.